Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I think so. I'm live now. Can you just quickly confirm if I'm audible to you, I'm visible to you, and my screen is clearly visible to you or not? Okay. So I think so from my side, it's clear, and hopefully I do not have any issue. Yeah, I think so. We are live now. Great. Okay. So let's begin with the second day. Welcome back to the day two. We had some issues on the day one. Let's hope we do not encounter the same issues again on the day two. Although we have very less number of students right now, so they like everyone joins in again. Okay. So till yesterday, what we completed was we were done with actually SPA, that was single page application. So we also covered server side rendering and client side rendering. Okay, just these three topics were covered yesterday. Although these three were an important topic, so yeah, we'll move forward from here. And yeah, before that, just confirm if everything is fine from my side. Just add in the chat. If you encounter any issue from my side, also just feel free to mention that. I will rectify it up from my side. And yeah, one more thing about the attendance. Again, I'm telling you, attendance will be shared only after 7:30. So if you want to give me a reminder, you can give it after 7:30, but no need to kind of create a spam or else a rush over here. Okay. So I will share it up when I remember it back. Yeah, hello everyone. Hi Kirti. Great. Anusha, if it's all okay, then fine. Great. So as I told you yesterday that I will move forward with the JAMstack. So it's again a theoretical concept. We'll cover that first, and after JAMstack, there was one more part of deployment of HTML site by using GitHub. That's the next concept that we need to cover. So I have brought in some codes, not some codes, just one HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code that we will just deploy it up directly on the GitHub. We'll see a tutorial how we can basically deploy HTML site directly on GitHub. That's one point of agenda that we need to cover today too. Okay. So after that, once we are done with that, we'll understand some commands of GitHub. Now, remember, I'm telling you beforehand the commands that I will cover right here. I will tell you all the theoretical commands that we need. Now, it will be your job to actually implement those commands. Okay. So I'm not actually going to implement each and every command. Very less commands will be implemented. Now, why am I doing this part? Because I want you to have a practice. Okay. So I will tell you a command as a form of documentation, what all things you need for the basic, and then you have to move forward and practice it on your own. It will be one of the assignment that I will be giving, and you have to submit it. It means that one GitHub repository will be taken as a submission at the end. So I will explain the assignment again on the fifth day, but right now remember this will be one of the assignment that will be given to you. Okay, so all the GitHub commands that we cover today, along with whatever required, I will mention it again at the end of the session. And the session will range between 45 to 1 hour. So everyone should have patience. No one should create any rush right here. Okay. So fine, let's move forward with the next concept that we have, that is my JAMstack. So let's understand the JAMstack. That's one small theoretical concept that we have remaining, and then I will move forward with the deployment part that is again remaining from the last lecture. Okay, so JAMstack is the next concept. Now, what does JAM stands for? So JAM stands for JavaScript API and markup. Okay, so over here J stands for JavaScript. Okay. Now, what does A stands for? A over here stands for APIs. What is APIs? Application Program Interface. Okay. So A is APIs, and the M over here stands for markup. So HTML is the markup language. Okay. Remember that. So markup will be the third concept. That's JAM, JAM. So why are we actually studying about? Okay, so we call it as a modern, like we call it as a modern architecture design. Okay, about JavaScript, but again we like modern architecture. Why do we consider it as a modern architecture? Because see, in case of modern web development, whatever development you are doing right now, everything is based upon these three concepts. So you have libraries of JavaScript that you use, you have APIs, and you have markup language. Okay, so these three are important points of a Jamstack. Okay, so GitHub is an AI, right, introduced by Microsoft. GitHub is not an AI. GitHub is a code platform. Okay, it's a cloud platform over where you store your code. So although GitHub has an AI platform known as Copilot, but GitHub on a whole is not an AI. Okay, so GitHub existed before AI itself. So do not just call it as a AI. Okay, so let's get into Jam again. So what does JavaScript handles? So it will handle all the dynamic functionalities that you have. Okay, so handles dynamic behavior of the website. Or else you can, more specifically, if you want to go in, you can call it as front end part, because JavaScript will most probably be working in the front end part. No, we are not going to discuss Kubernetes over here. Okay, fine. See, again, I will remind you, we are discussing all basic concepts that you need to start with the web development part. Okay, it this is not any big like experience or intermediate level boot camp that I'm taking. So since last two boot camps, everything was most common. Okay, we did not went to intermediate or higher level. We are just taking to the basic because I got some request to actually cover some basic concepts. Okay, can Jamstack website handle dynamic feature like user? Obviously, yes. Fareen, Jamstack will handle everything. See, Jamstack is a most basic form of calling it up. Okay. See, in Jamstack, what comes? JavaScript libraries. Okay, you can remember it as a JavaScript libraries, or as all the code platforms that has been built on JavaScript. So in JavaScript libraries, what you have? You have React, you have Next as a libraries. Okay, you have Node for the backend. So you can build everything possible by using Jamstack. Even if you are working with a plain JavaScript too, you can again build all dynamic platforms possible. But just the problem is that the complexity will be more. Okay, that's the only issue. Other than that, we do not have any issue. Yeah, Dhriti, just let me complete this Jamstack. Then I will again like revise that concept. And what is A? A stands for APIs. So what does it handles exactly is it handles your servers, site logic and request. Okay, in this I'm also considering data fetching too, so I will mention that too. Okay, so API are most important part of data fetching, server side rendering and all. Okay, what are some popular tools or frameworks used in Jamstack? See, APIs, sorry, if you are talking about JavaScript libraries, if you want to use it up, most probably you can use React, and on base of React we have Next, we have for backend, you have Node, most specifically on base of JavaScript. If I talk about A, that is APIs, you have REST APIs, you have GraphQL, you have many things to build an API. Now, markup is simply HTML that I talk about. So markup, just remember it as a HTML. Raj, do not actually need to spam any attendance over here, okay? Yeah, good evening, Deepthi. Hi, Fairy Tale. How are you doing, Fairy Tale? Okay, so what is the markup? So markup is just known as pre-rendered HTML over here. Okay, so what is markup? Markup is a pre-rendered HTML. Okay, so now one more thing I will add. So file. Again, advanced concept. If you want to simply remember is a bucket that handles all AI platform, but on the code base that not that great platform that I would suggest. Okay. So there are other better platforms that you can use other than Copilot, because sometimes Copilot does not works better. Yeah, good evening, Deepika. Okay, so these are the three. Like, what exactly do we need to know about that? Okay, so if I talk about benefits in this case, okay, yes, Sunanda, how are you doing, Sunanda? In professional way and very best collaborative platform that you can ask. Okay, so GitHub comes under version control. Okay, if you want to know much about it, GitHub comes under a version control platform that actually stores code, that actually controls version, that actually gives you a platform for what platform for collaboration. Guys, is my voice breaking again and again? Sunanda, you have great time to decide on what to go. I would personally suggest, based upon the AI boom that you are seeing, just go on a product development. Okay, whatever product you can think of, just go on a product development. Obviously, you need DSA. With Python, okay, it's good. No problem with the Python, but try having other languages too if possible. Yes, obviously on GitHub you can save your projects. Okay. Yes, Tanvi, do you want to speak something, Tanvi? Yeah, guys, I'm wrong, so correct me out if you want. If you're okay with that, no problem. Okay, no, not with Python. I'm doing it with C. Okay, fine. C would be fine. Great. If you're working with C, just like upgrade yourself with C++. That will be much more better option. Okay, so what are the benefits do we have in this case? Okay, no voice break right now. Voice is not clear. Okay, my voice is cracking, right? The voice is not clear. Okay, just give me a moment. Mm, yeah, guys, I just went out to switch between a Wi-Fi, and yeah, I just got kicked out of my own studio. I hope so. It's clear now, right? Is it clear now? Video not working properly. Obviously, I got kicked out, so video will not work properly. Okay. Ujjwal, I already sent the note with the operation team, and they will share it with you. Okay. Okay. So I was talking about benefits that we have in Jamstack. Okay, let's move to that. And obviously, we do not have much time to waste over here. So the first benefit that I can talk about in the Jamstack is okay. Yeah, fine, guys. I got to know that everything is fine. So net share करनी है. Yeah, Anant, 7:30 बजे. Okay, so what is the benefit? So the first benefit that I can think of, it's super fast. Okay, they are all generalized benefit. We are not getting into any technical benefits that I can think of. Okay, again, remember, I have made it simple, very simple. So if you are intermediate level of developer, please do not waste your time over here. It's clearly not for you. Okay. Okay, so super fast performance, that's the first thing. Okay, just think of it as introduction to web development. That's what I will call it as. It's really not that important, but it's important for anyone who is beginning. Okay, so that's the first thing that I can think of. It's super fast in terms of performance. Yeah, Fareen, bye. If you want to stay, you can. I'm not telling you that just go out, but yeah. Okay, so it's better security. Obviously, that will be better security. One more thing. And yeah, Fareen, just stay and give me some kind of feedback too. I would be happy for that too. Easy scaling. And I hope, like, I'm planning for the next bootcamp, that would be much better because since last two bootcamps, I have taken everything very basic. Okay. So I'm getting bored of this basic bootcamps. So I have to take something better. Okay. That's the last one. Okay. Integrates well with the headless CSS. That's the one thing. If you want to take an example of always, there will be one example like you build a platform using Next.js platform, like Next.js. So Next.js platform or else Next.js app deployed on Vercel. Okay, the spelling deployed. Okay, so Next.js app that is deployed on Vercel. Okay, so that will be one example. Serverless function. What is serverless function? We'll not get into that again. Not a basic concept to cover right now. Okay, so that was JAMstack. Do one more essential bootcamp, sir, please. Triti, I am bored with these essential bootcamps. So everyone shouts in the chat about practicals, and in essential bootcamps and basic bootcamps, I have to keep practicals less. So I have to think about everyone right now, and even for myself too, because I'm getting bored of these small boot camps. Actually, I'm here just for the certificate. Oh, then Fareen, stay and take your attendance. Okay, so this was my Jamstack. Someone from your side wanted a kind of revision of it. So let's quickly get into revision. What is client-side rendering? So in client-side rendering, all the website-related render, everything works on the browser itself. Everything first of all loads on the browser, it gets computed on the browser, and then it gets shown to the client. That's your client side rendering. Okay, how does it works? So JavaScript runs on your browser and dynamically builds your content. Okay, and yeah, remember one thing, we have a great advantage, that is navigation between pages is very easy and we do not waste any time in reloads. In terms of advantages, we had like we had very smooth transition. Spelling of transition is wrong. So we had very smooth transition between pages. It reduces server loads. How does it reduce a server load? See, for each request that you make, we do not go back to the server. Okay, that is why we stick to the client itself. In that case, there is no load on the server. Okay, and it is very perfect for the dynamic web app. Okay. Disadvantage, obviously, slower first load. The first page load that you have, it is kind of slower. Once everything gets into the cache, it works fine. It works great. SEO can be weaker, and yeah, SEO search engine optimization can be weaker. Then we had server side rendering. So in server side rendering, everything, okay, complete HTML page gets generated on the server itself. Okay, and the browser, what does browser receives? Browser directly receives rendered HTML, and there will not be any wait for JavaScript. Again, what all advantages we have? The first load that you have, that is very fast. It is SEO friendly and better for e-commerce. The problem that we have is time, like load time between two pages will be more. Okay, so that's the disadvantage that we have. So navigation might cause page reloads. Yes, obviously navigation will cause page reloads. Then we had SPA, that is single page application. So single page application, not actually single page application whole of the website, but what happens in SPA is only a single page gets rendered on the first instance. Okay. So in web pages that loads only one page initially. That's what we call it as SPA. Again, remember guys, I'm not talking about that SPA. Okay. I'm talking about single page application over here. So as you navigate, see, once you move to the next page, JavaScript dynamically updates other parts of your site that you have, but on the first instance, single page gets rendered. How does it works? So app fetches data from API and reuses the same HTML structure. And yeah, like, you can read it up. It's not much. Then we move to JAMstack. JAMstack had JavaScript, APIs, and markup, and we just covered how does it works. Okay, I hope so. It's fine. Uh, so yes, Muskan, can you just write it again? I think so. I messed it up. Muskan, just write to chat again. 7:30. It's attendance time, right? No, Yugal, I'm not actually getting into creation of SPA right here. I told you I have many concepts to cover in Web Essentials, so I have to stick to the basic itself. Okay. Okay. Fine. I hope so. There will not be any doubt in this part. Okay. It's very easy. Yeah, obviously he is not from Nigeria. He's from India. As the name suggests, he's obviously from India. Do not get fooled. Okay. Yeah, guys, you can stop personating yourself. Okay. If you are from someone, just be like someone. Sachin Bagdi. Yeah, Sachin, why do you want to meet someone from Pakistan? Don't be racist, Sachin. Don't be racist in my chat. No need to like have a bomb emoji. So, as an AI/ML student focusing on development and doing more languages framework is needed. No, you are an AI/ML developer. Focus on AI/ML. Just stick to one language that you can or framework that you can use to build a web application, and focus on AI/ML much more. Pawan, come in next bootcamp. Pawan, that's where I will try having something much advanced. In the last bootcamp too, I had for I think so it was authentication bootcamp, right? Yeah, in authentication bootcamp, I tried including like as much as the practical part I can. Okay, attendance the solo criteria for certificate. No, attendance not a solo criteria. You need to submit your assignments. Okay, now what's the next concept? Some of you had asked me to show the deployment on GitHub. So I'm not going to write a code from scratch. I have brought some code by default, and I will use code sandbox. Then I will push the code to GitHub over there. We'll try deploying it up. Attendance link भेजो यार और भी काम है मुझे ठीक है सचिन और भी काम है तो जाके करो और भी काम Why are you wasting your time over here? बहुत काम है तो फिर क्यों आए उधर? Okay, so let's create my site. Okay, so if you are on VS Code, obviously you can move forward with the VS Code and you can push your code from VS Code. But what I will do is, yes, Sachin, why do you want to meet me in live location? So what I want to do is, I want to create my HTML, CSS, and JavaScript page, and I will push it up, and yeah, I will try deploying it up. Okay, so you can either use VS Code or else you can come on the code sandbox and you can just come over here. Okay, so just sign up on Code Sandbox with whatever means you like. You can go with like Google sign in or whatever possible. It's your job now because you are like I know you can do that. So over here, I will choose an HTML plus template. Okay, I will choose HTML plus CSS template, and yeah, let's name it as deploy test. Okay, I will name it as deploy test. Visibility, let's keep it as public for now, and let's click on create sandbox. Okay, so I will just copy and paste the code. There is nothing much better in the code. It's a basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript site. The only thing that I want to show you over here is how to deploy your HTML on GitHub directly. That's the only aim and agenda that I have. Okay. So what about assignment? I will tell you assignment. Wait, wait, wait. Have patience. Have patience. I'm not running away without assignment. Okay, so styles.css. Let's add something in the style. Okay, I will share this code sandbox link with you in the chat. Just wait a minute. Let me complete this up. And once it's done, I will share the code sandbox link with you. नहीं संस्कार लिंक नहीं आई है. What did Ronak did? Okay, so let's go with the script.js for the script. This is the basic site that we have, obviously, a site that you can get over here. But yeah, let's go forward and focus on the main agenda that we have, that is deployment. I don't care how bad this website looks. Only thing matter is that we will be deploying it up. Okay, guys, can you stop talking about the tribes and all, Hunza tribes and all, please? It would be much better if you do not act much racist in the chat. I would like that you do not act racist in the chat. If someone is from somewhere, you should not actually joke about that. Okay, so I will now move forward to create this repository. Just wait a minute. I will share this code sandbox link with you. Okay, so what are the things we have? We have just simple index.html, not much thing over there. Style.css, again, not much. And in script.js also, we do not have much thing over there. So let's create my GitHub repo with this. So I have an option to create repository in my code sandbox. I will click on create repository. By default, I will keep it as public. The name will be same as deploy test. Okay. Let's click on create repository. Guys, you are not focusing over here and you will ask me later how you did that. So remember, I will not get back to this topic again. Okay. You asked me to show the deployment of HTML. I am showing you. I am going to the most basic level. Please. What, Ronak? What exactly have you done, Ronak? Okay, so the repository is getting created. So we can wait for 1 minute and we can see what exactly Ronak did over here. I see everyone is laughing in the chat. Ronak. Okay, Ronak, you are from Hansa tribe. जफर अब्बास पढ़ाने को तो मैं उर्दू में भी पढ़ा दूं पर समझ में सबके नहीं आएगी फिर. Okay, so I have to stick to English for everyone's like need. So yeah, try understanding my problem too. I cannot switch to Hindi or Urdu even. Okay, so I'm moving to GitHub now, and yeah, so I will show you how exactly am I doing it. Okay, so this is the repository that I had. So I have everything index.html, script.js, and style.css. So what will be the project given to us? Yeah, I will explain you what will be the project given to you. Just chill, relax, have patience. Okay, so I want to deploy it up. First thing for deploying any site on GitHub, remember the visibility should be public. Okay, you should not have a private repo. That's the first thing that you have to do. Now, next, move to the next concept. So you have to move to the setting tab, go to the settings tab, and this is very basic, like GitHub repository. We do not have actually any extra branches. We just have one branch, main or master, and we will deploy it up on there. In settings, you have to move to pages. Okay, move to your pages, and over here you have an option to deploy from a branch. Okay, so now select which branch you want to take in. So I want to take in the main branch. Okay, main branch, and the folder should be root. Do not change the folder to docs. Stick it to the root itself. Okay. Okay, fine. I hope so it's clear till this point and you are following it. First thing that I did, I moved to setting tabs. The next thing that I did, I went to the pages. Then I selected the branch from which I want to deploy. I had single branch, so I went with the main branch. The directory, I went with the root, obviously not with the docs. And then I will click on save. Okay, so this will initiate a process of build and deploy. So it will take me some time for this process. So let's go back to my repository. And over here you can see, okay, you can see a log where your website is getting built. Okay, now again, this build will take you around at max 30 to 40 seconds. Okay, that's what it is going to take you. So wait for 30 to 40 seconds. Okay, you can chill or relax for 30 to 40 seconds and let it get complete, and then I will move forward. Okay, now, till that point, let me tell you what will be the assignment for today. You do not have to submit it by tomorrow. So the assignment that I would give you today is this one only. Okay. Oh, sorry. What I will do is I will share this code sandbox link with you. Take that code sandbox, like create your own repository on GitHub and try deploying this site. That is the one assignment that you have for now. And next one, I will tell you what will be the next one by end of this session. Okay, note it down, guys. Please do not ask me again. For today, just try deploying this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript site. Or else, let me do one thing. Let me paste this HTML, CSS, and JavaScript code directly in the notes, and you can get it from there. Okay, that will be much more better option for us. Or else, let me share the code sandbox link itself. Wait a minute, let me share the code sandbox link. Okay, guys, let me tell you one honest thing. Like this bootcamp really does not looks like a bootcamp right now. So someone is talking about something, someone is talking about other things. So please, guys, can you just focus and just be quiet? Sijan, now it's your discretionary choice what how you want to deploy it up. Okay. So if you're well enough to do it other ways, just feel free to do it. Okay. Do not worry about that. Okay, I'm sharing the code sandbox link with you. So just take it up and copy it up for your need. If you do not need, no problem. But if you need, just copy it up and please try deploying it up. Okay. So it is still in deployment. If you want to see more details of it, so I am getting an option of deployed. So let's see if I can get a link. Yeah, I got a link, okay, of my deployed site, and this is my deployed site, a Word site that you can get in HTML. But yeah, for sample work, we can go for with that. Okay, so this is a deployed link that you got right now from your GitHub, and this site has been deployed on the GitHub. You can share it up with anyone whom you want. Okay, अटेंडेंस कहाँ आई रिद्ध में अटेंडेंस आई नहीं है अभी तक अटेंडेंस अभी धीरे धीरे चल रही है तो उसको आने में अराउंड 5 मिनट्स मोर लगेंगे यू डू नॉट हैव एसएस यू डू नॉट हैव एसएस इट्स पब्लिक रेपो गाइस यू विल हैव एन एसएस पब्लिक रेपोजिटरी लेट मी चेक इट अगेन नहीं नहीं यार जी वो आई नहीं थी वो अटेंडेंस लिंक कुछ और थी या आई हैव pasted the code sandbox link let me check if it is public or private it's public I think so everyone can access it up. So please try accessing it up. Yeah, you do not need to submit assignment today. At the end, I will tell you how to submit it up. No need to submit any assignment today. Okay. Okay, fine. So deployment part is also done, and I hope so there is no worry or issue from your side till this point. Okay. You wanted me to deploy a site of HTML, I gave it. It is not accepting, it is giving there is no SS. Okay, why exactly am I having this trouble? So as per my knowledge, it is public and I have set it to everyone has SS. So it should actually have like you should have SS, right guys? Said example request to send the link in the group because we are unable to copy the link. I will send the link obviously in the group. Do not worry about that. But till then, just please try to have it here. Okay, I will do one thing. Let's do one thing. I will share the GitHub repo directly. Or else, yeah, what I can do is I will add the code directly in the notes. You can take it up later. That's the other option that I have. Okay. Please try assessing that code sandbox later because I have set the visibility to public. So there is no problem from my side. I have not restricted it up. So you would be able to actually assess it up. So if you are not able to assess it up, then I have to see it later. What's the problem we have? Wow, what is this? Yeah, it's fine now. Okay, so this is the code. You can like look into it later. Now, what is the next thing that I have to cover? Git and GitHub. Okay, Git and GitHub is the next concept that we need. The first was unable to access, but second is working. Yeah, I know second would be working because I have set it to public. So if it does not work, Dhanraj, you are too eager to get blocked, Dhanraj. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 text messages of attendance. Yeah, obviously this is not for attendance, guys. Fareen, I do not actually know about this screenshot thing. Okay, I do not have knowledge of it. So if you get any instruction from operation teams or somewhere else, I think so you have to follow that. Okay, I do not have knowledge about screenshots. जी यूजर बस कुछ समय और दीजिए फिर हम आगे बढ़ते हैं. Okay, so the next thing that we have is Git and GitHub. So in Git, we will first of all understand what exactly is a repository in Git. Okay, so what is Git and GitHub? Okay, so first thing, Git is a tool. Git is a tool for what? Git is a tool for GitHub. Now, what is GitHub? GitHub is a cloud platform where you store whatever code you have. Where is attendance? Attendance है ही नहीं. attendance. Even I do not know where attendance is. So just give me a moment to actually get let me get the attendance form. Okay. Okay. Just give me 5 more minutes and then I will share the attendance. So first is Git. So let me give you a brief intro of Git. What Git is. So Git is a tool. Git. uh, It is a tool for code management. If I talk in terms of very generic term, if I talk about a very simple definition, so Git is just a tool. Okay, Git is not a platform. Git does not have an interface. You would have listened about Git Bash, right? You install Git. You do not install GitHub, but you install Git in your system. Okay, so Git is a tool for code management where you push, pull, and manage code for GitHub. Okay, so Git works for GitHub. We have something GitHub and we have Git that is a tool for GitHub. Okay, now what is GitHub? GitHub is just a cloud platform to actually store your code. Okay, is it paid? Obviously not paid. It is a cloud platform to store, manage, version control, and collaborate. Okay, in your code. Remember, so Git and GitHub obviously works with only code. They do not work with anything else. It is not an AI platform. Let me rectify it again. Cloud spelling. Okay, so it is not a AI platform. It is a platform where you actually collectively store data for your code. Okay, that's what GitHub is. Okay, now just wait a minute. Be silent. I'm sharing attendance. I do not want any rush or problems. This is day two, and everyone please mark your attendance without missing it out. And I will move forward with the lecture with this point. Okay, so attendance is working fine. Day two, yes, it's working fine. You can mark your attendance. Till then, let's complete some theoretical concept of Git and GitHub. We do not have much time. Let's complete some of the theories and then we can continue tomorrow. Uh, okay, so what is the next thing? Next thing is repository. Okay, repository. What will you do actually by knowing what year or what am I doing right now, Sachin? Okay, we are COC mode. Hello. So what is a repository? Okay, so now you have projects on your system. Okay, so now what is repo? Repo or repository is a project. Okay, is a project or a directory. You can also call it as a project or directory on your system, not on system, but on your GitHub. Okay, so it's like a project folder that contains all files, histories of changes. Okay, obviously we are talking about version control also over here. So we will also talk about history of changes in this case. Okay, and configuration. So whatever application you are building, we will have some basic or advanced configuration for that application. So now repository, suppose you are building one application, let's suppose e-commerce application. Okay, now those that e-commerce application will be called as one project. Okay, now you push that project on GitHub. In that case scenario, it will be called as one single repository. So again, it is a simple project folder that contains all the codes, all the files, all the histories. Okay, histories is spelling. How can I write it so wrong? Okay, so all the histories of changes and whatever configuration, whatever required modules and what everything, settings related to your project, configurations related to your projects, all code file and everything. Okay, everything comes under repository. Okay, in VS Code it shows GitHub as an AI. Why do you run a since how many years have you been working with GitHub? So GitHub has an AI platform that's Copilot. GitHub On a whole is not an AI. Okay, let me repeat it again. It's, no, guys, Ronak aa gaya. It's not gayi aa gaya. Okay, that's a repository. Okay, it's simply a project folder. Now again, repository can also be local. It can be considered as a local as well as it can be considered on your remote or else on a GitHub. Okay, so it can be local folder or it can also be on GitHub. Okay, or else we can call it as remote. Okay, so I will write it as remote. That is remote cloud platform that I am mentioning about. Okay, so that is what repository means. Both the local folder or else the remote folder that we talk about is what we call it as repository. Okay, that's what we call it as Git repository. Now, here comes the practical part that you need to implement from your side. So, if you are creating a repository or else if you are creating a folder, what command do you need to run? So, mkdir, let's name it as my first repo. Okay. Now, this is a kind of a small assignment for you to run those commands. If tomorrow, if you are not able to run it up, then I will be in your help. Okay. I will be there to actually run it for you. But I hope so. These are basic commands that you will be able to run. So the first command is actually to create a repository or else a project folder. That's the first command. Okay. Okay. So I will name it as commands. So see guys, notes will get shared in your community post, okay, to make a repo or folder for the project. Okay, that's what mkdir, my first repo, will be doing. You do not need to actually submit any of this assignment right now. On the last day, I will tell you how and where to submit these assignments. So please teach us about CI/CD comes with a practical example. Yes, Pavan will cover this CI/CD with practical example tomorrow. First of all, we understand what CI/CD is, and we'll implement CI, that is continuous integration. First of all, on GitHub itself. Okay, so that's the first thing. Branch AI ML hai kya? Okay, guys, you are more interested about others, branches and all. Okay. So that's the first command. MPDI, my first repo, that will be the first command. And now CD. I do not know why am I covering this. Okay, these are all Ubuntu commands and all. So to move inside the created repo. Okay. Yeah, guys, if you got any question about the class, you can ask it. Okay, you you are becoming guide for others. Okay, fine. Now, the last thing, the most important is Git init. What does Git init means? It is used to initialize Git in your project. Okay, initialize Git in your project. Now, for the public who have not worked with GitHub, let me tell you, you have to first of all install Git installation. If you are in Windows, you can go for with the Windows. If you are in Mac, you can go for with Mac. Okay. So you have the option to install Git. So I will select the option to Windows and you can use any of the options. Okay. So Git for Windows 64, ARM64. X64 will be much more better. Yeah, you can ignore that spelling mistakes. Okay, I make very frequent spelling mistakes. Just ignore it because I focus more on speaking. Okay, so whoever that has not worked with Git and GitHub, so you need to first of all install Git on your system. So for that case, you can come on the site, installation of Git, and if you are with Windows, install this up. If you are in a Mac OS, you can go for with this all commands to install it. Okay. So again, it's your part. I will not actually get into installation of that. I hope so you can actually install it up. Okay. Person to give waving speech. Yeah, mini AI creation. What is the mistake? See, I think it's fine. Get in it and all, everything is fine, right? Fine, RG. If you are from Lahore, it's great. Enjoy food of Lahore. But just do not send any bombs in the chat, okay? I do not want to see that. what various types of thing can we do with Git? See, you can now you're talking about Git, not GitHub. So let me tell you what you can do with Git. So Git will help you to push codes. It will help you to pull code. It will help you to resolve conflicts. These all are the main primary things that you can do. Git will help you to create branches. Git will help you to manage branches. These are the main primary things. Now, if you're talking about GitHub, so on GitHub, you can actually push code, you can maintain code, manage code, you can actually collaborate over there, you can actually deploy the site. There are many things. You can create CI/CD pipeline on the GitHub. So GitHub is a very vast concept. So if we want to cover GitHub totally, we will need much more time. Okay. So also tell us how to use command and VS Code using it. This is very easy part. So I'm leaving this part for you so that you can get a practice of it. Okay. So just try it out on your own first instance. That will give much more better practice for you. You can use CMD if you want, or else if you are directly in your VS Code, go forward with the terminal CMD. Okay. Okay. So these are the some basic commands. Now let's get and understand what commit is, what push is, and what pull is. Okay. These are the next concepts that we have. So what commit is, guys, if you face some problems with these commands and if you are not able to run this up, just please tell me tomorrow. I will run it up for you. Okay. What is commit? Sir, leave that form. Yeah, obviously, I have left it for assignment. Okay. I want you to do some work. Yeah. So what is commit? Now, you would have known about snapshots. Okay. What is a snapshot? Just a temporary instance. Okay. Just a temporary instance of particular image. That's what we call it as a snapshot. So a commit is also a snapshot. Okay. So we call it as a snapshot of your project at a specific point in time. Okay, let's take an example. What you did is you had an application where you were working with a sign in page. Okay, you added a sign in code on your local system. Now, what you do is you have to save that code so that you cannot actually, you do not get this code deleted or you do not actually lose that code. So, in that case, you do commit. Okay, what does commit does is commit will store your code on a what we call it as staging. What will the staging means? I will explain that too. Do not worry about that. So commit, just remember it as a snapshot or else a copy of your project. Okay, just the changes that you have made that will get a snapshot of it. Okay, now where do you exactly do the commit? So you perform commit where on a staging area. We call it as a staging area. So you first add files to the staging area. Okay. Staging area is not GitHub. Staging area is not actually your local editor. It's in between GitHub and your local editor. Okay. So you first add file to the staging area. Okay. And now, so to add a file to staging area, what is the command that you use? So to add a file, to staging area, you add git add and dot. This is the command to actually add the code to the staging area. So git add dot. Now to commit it up, once you have pushed the code to staging, then you want to move forward and commit this up. In that case, what you will be using is git commit dash m and some commit message. Remember, every commit that you perform should have a commit message. Without a commit message, you cannot perform any commit. Okay. So whatever commit you are doing, you need to perform a commit message everywhere. First you do git add dot, then you do git commit dot. So sorry to disturb you, but last time session I did a whole lecture session, but I did not get any certificate. That's why I'm telling you personally. Note my name, Pavan. Yeah, Pavan, I will get it to notice of the operation team. If you have submitted your assignment, I think so you will get the certificate. Okay. Sachin, please restrain from sharing anyone's number over here in the chat. It will be much more better for you and for us too. And guys, I do not want anyone sharing your Git, like LinkedIn. Sorry, not LinkedIn. You can share your LinkedIn, not your Instagram IDs over here. Git add dot meaning. Sijan, git add dot meaning is you add the code or else you add the changes that you have done to a file to a staging. Now, staging is a temporary area in between your local and your GitHub itself. Okay. So when you add a code to staging, the changes stay on the local system and staging area. It does not get pushed to the GitHub. Okay. Remember that. So it is in between those two. Podcaster, you do not need to submit the assignment. Okay. Okay, so commit is one thing. So what we actually covered in GitHub is we just covered what Git in GitHub is. We covered some of the commands and then we covered what commit is. And we also saw two more commands, git add dot and git commit dash m commit message. Okay, remember whatever commit you do, every commit needs to have some message in add. Okay, without commit, we will not be able to perform that commit. Now, I will not cover anything more. We have branches and everything left. So I will start it up tomorrow directly. And these all commands that you need to run locally, you have to do it. Now, what all things will I do? Tomorrow in practical, we'll go on GitHub. We'll see branch creation. We'll see pull request. We'll see how to review pull request and other things. Other things, okay? And then we'll review pull request and all. These are the things that we need to do tomorrow. Till then, if you have any doubts, you are free to ask me. I will clarify those doubts and then we'll end this session now. Okay. So I have already shared the attendance form. I hope so you all have like marked your attendance. So that should not be an issue. So please tomorrow do not come to me and tell that you haven't marked your attendance. Okay. Yeah, fairy tale. I'm not just going. I will wait for you if you have any problems or anything. Okay. Guys, if you have any problems, any issues, please comment. Okay. No, git add will actually not push the code to the GitHub. It will just add it to the staging area. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for joining the session. And please, if you have any doubt, please go forward. Okay. And tomorrow, don't take those unnecessary comments. Yeah, Dhriti, I cannot actually avoid those. Okay. If I avoid those, many of the like genuine comment just pass out. Assignment, there is not a big assignment. I gave you the code that you have to try deploy it up on GitHub. The next thing is the commands that I have written right now. Just try implementing those commands on your local system. That's the only thing. Okay. Yes, Dhriti, I will try to do as you suggest. Okay. It's not assignment, guys. It's just a practice. Okay. It will be assignment at the last day, but it's practice right now. Sachin Bakshi, see, I'm taking a live boot camp over here, so I have to keep my eye on the comments. Okay, there are some rules and regulations that I also need to follow. So I have to keep my eye on the comments too. I cannot totally ignore you all. Okay, so it's an interactive session and I have to keep it like that. Yeah, thank you, Dhriti. Yeah, Ronak, please just please do not try to create any other problems tomorrow. Okay, no need to write any unnecessary things in the chat. Okay. Okay, fine, guys. I think so. There is no genuine doubts that I can get right now in the chat. So, Archie, what is this guy? Archie, be in Lahore and enjoy your life, Archie. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you, David. It's great. I get appreciation from your side. Yeah, I will meet you again tomorrow, Krishna. Matro, I will meet you again tomorrow. Sachin, I wanted to say something to you, but I cannot say. But guys, please, there's some decorum and something to maintain, okay? Guys, yes, Pawan, I will note your name, okay? Do not worry about that. There is some a basic decorum that you should maintain and you should have a mind for that. I hope so you have for that, okay? Do not just comment anything right now. Obviously, I should take it positively, but again, yeah, that's what I'm telling. That's what I'm telling that, okay? Yeah, Shajan, it's great. Thank you. Yes, you will be able to get attendance, sorry, certificate. Just one day of missing lecture is not a big issue, okay? Yes, Lakshmi, thank you. Thank you, Lakshmi. Fine, guys, you can leave. No need to wait now. I will end this session. Why Ujjwal? Why should I note your name, Ujjwal? Yeah, thank you guys. I think so. I should not stay much more now. Okay, fine, guys. Thank you. And yeah, good night. We'll meet you tomorrow at the same time. With other concepts. Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye.